Ciso. Oh, it's fabulous! A strike to get you up off your seats.
Hello and welcome to Seagulls Social, the Manchester United match preview. I am joined by Maz and we've got a guest. This is his third time on, but you've only seen him once now because the first two times they both failed miserably because of Ryan's poor internet. Ryan is actually on holiday, having a nice break on his holly bobs. So we have got Luke Linx in. Luke, how you doing, mate?
Feeling good, man. It took a while to set up, but we're here. We're going, and I'm excited. I really appreciate you guys having me on, can't wait to get this little pod underway for this big match coming up Saturday.
It's a huge match. No, a pleasure. Thank you for coming on. We featured on your channel. If you don't know, Luke, you probably should if you're a Brighton fan. Luke's got his own YouTube channel, which in the past year or two has just absolutely blown away, a meteoric rise really in terms of Brighton content and the views you get. It's madness. What's it been like starting it and then it kind of taken off so quickly?
Yeah, it's been a crazy ride actually, and I didn't really expect it to go as far as it did, getting, hundreds of thousands of views on some of the matchday vlogs. I really didn't expect that. I did think that we would get a bit of attention because I am the only, when I started, I was the only Brighton vlogger really about doing matchday vlogs. So I was thinking, I've got no competition. So I thought I was going to get a few views, maybe 2,000 or 3,000 on maybe each vlog. But I think as Brighton have grown as a team, as a club, I think I've grown as well with them as, I've literally experienced some of the greatest matches that Brighton have ever had against some of the biggest clubs and some of the biggest results. So I think that, the success has come along with the Brighton success as well. So I think, I can, say a big thank you to Brighton playing as well as they are and doing as well as they're doing, because it's helping me out at the end of the day as well. So.
Yeah, that's true. And also when Karim Matoma scores like that, is even for us, if we've got Matoma in the thumbnail or on the title, then it gets us a bit more traction, which is nice.
We love the Japanese fans. We love them.
We do, and it's so good to see them around the stadium. I'm sure we'll probably see them at Old Trafford as well. But Maz, it is actually your birthday, correct?
It is my birthday today, mate. Yeah. 1 year older, and 1 year wiser, I'd like to think. But no, I don't know about that part. But
big 21.
It is I've just turned 21. It's been an incredible year. I've been very lucky to do some incredible stuff, and hopefully the next year brings even more joy, and especially in the Brighton world. I want to see us lift the Europa. If we can do that, that'll be an incredible way to finish off the year. So, we'll see, boys. We'll see.
Dublin, here we come.
Yeah, Dublin, here we come. It's going to be brilliant. Hopefully we do get there. I think first, obviously, it's been the international break, so we haven't really talked too much about it. Lewis Dunk hasn't dropped out of this squad through injury. He's actually been training, which is nice. He didn't play against Ukraine, Luke. Were you disappointed? And also, what were your thoughts on the match? Because it was a pretty disappointing result as well.
Yeah, no, I was disappointed not to see Dunk, get at least some minutes in that game. I know we struggled, and maybe if we were as we should be 3 or 4-0 up by half time, maybe Southgate would have put him on to give him a go. But I don't know. I'm hoping it's Scotland tonight, isn't it? So maybe we can see Lewis Dunk there. But I was a bit disappointed really, because Harry Maguire's hardly played that much, and he's not wanted in the United side.
I don't think.
No, exactly. And I just don't get it. I think we're always going to get the same with Southgate. It's always going to be his favourites, and until we get a new manager in the role for England, I think that'll be the only time we see Dunk start, and then finally get a manager that sees the quality in Dunk. I think.
And then Matt, do you reckon Southgate will be here for the next tournament? So what we got, the Euros next. Do you reckon he'll be there for that?
I'm not sure. I feel like there's getting a lot of pressure at the moment, especially with his comments on Phil Foden. Was it yesterday? About him saying he doesn't play centrally for Man City, and how he doesn't... he's not sure how he fits in if he doesn't get a game for Man City. And it's you play Maguire, mate. He doesn't even get a start for Man United. So there's no logic really in what he says. And I feel like he is getting a lot of pressure recently in terms of the public. And I don't know about internally. I think internally he's very well liked, very well backed. I think the FA love him, but I think if the public pressure mounts too much, that's when we're going to see maybe Southgate getting the boot. And I personally want to see him get the boot. I feel like, what's the point of calling up, let's say, Dunkey? Why call him up and not give him a chance in a friendly? Like, I get it if it was a qualifier, wherever it might be, but just in a friendly, I just don't see why you wouldn't just give him a chance, at least play him from the start, especially with the level of centre-backs at the moment. Also, with John Stones out, the quality isn't really there. So Dunkey is arguably the best centre-half available to him. So
which is crazy to say.
Yeah, it's just all a bit mad, to be honest. But I don't want to see Southgate last till the Euros. I want to see another manager come in, maybe even like Graham Potter. I know it might hurt us as Brighton fans to say, but I feel like Graham Potter could do a job at England. I don't see why not. And get him in.
I was gonna mention Potter because he's currently the favourite to be the next England manager, but what we've seen with him at Chelsea, he can't really deal with the big egos. And obviously England do have big egos. But the reason why I think he would be better than Southgate is because he'll be able to use the talent that he's got on option so much better than Gareth Southgate. Like, England have so much talent, it is ridiculous. One of the best countries in the world, definitely, like, in terms of squads and talent.
I mean,
and we're playing Mark Gay and Maguire at centre back, and even other players like Henderson playing.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Even the midfield three. Look at Bellingham, Foden, and who's the other one? Michael Blank. Who's the other one?
Phillips?
Help me out? No, who's the other
one?
No.
What, against Ukraine?
No, we got Bellingham. Like, who are the three that should be playing?
Bryce?
So,
Bellingham,
yes, that's it.
Bryce.
Sorry, yes, Bryce, Bellingham, and Foden. Right, as a midfield three, like that on paper, you put that up against any midfield three in the world, that would be up there with one of the best, especially with the way Jude Bellingham's playing in Spain. Phil Foden's potential, we all know how good he is when he plays, and Declan Rice has been fantastic for Arsenal and has been brilliant for West Ham for however many years. So that midfield three, I feel like just that alone, forget the defence, forget the forwards. Obviously, you've got Harry Kane, Saka, all these other great players. Just that midfield three is good enough on its own to go out there and win a trophy. Whereas I feel like Southgate, every time he's been in that big moment, unfortunately, it has failed. Don't get me wrong, he's been brilliant in terms of even getting England to a final, getting them to a semis, like, is impressive. But then when he gets that final, it's like, well, are you going to win it? Yes or no? And you don't really back him to. You can't. I personally can't back him to win a final.
I just hope. I mean, Luke, I don't know about you. I think last week there was links with Pep Guardiola, wasn't there, being the next manager? Now that would be the best, wouldn't it? He would be the manager that will win us these tournaments and get us. Well, obviously we've got to finals and semis, but I feel like he would be the manager that would actually win us the trophy.
Yeah, I think, if you had Pep Guardiola on your side, I think that's when you'll be seeing the real England come into play. And I think you'll be seeing the real qualities of Harry Kane and Bellingham and Declan Rice as well, as young as they are. So I think, you would be seeing definitely a trophy or two with Pep Guardiola on the England side, for sure.
Or even De Zerbi, I reckon.
Yeah, De Zerbi, yeah.
Obviously,
let's not sell him. Just give him Graham Potter, we'll be fine. And then
loan him out
just quickly,
loan
him out for the summer. Just quickly before we get into the Man United game, there were other internationals. We had Japan played Germany, Matoma versus Gross. Pascal Gross finally got his international call up for Germany, which was honestly nearly brought a tear to my eye. But then, in classic Brighton fashion, he witnessed the first ever Germany manager being sacked after 123 years of them being a footballing country or whatever, or having a team. It's just so Brighton, isn't it, Maz? The Pascal Gross has had this incredible moment, and it's been tainted by the worst week in their history. They got battered 4-1 by Japan, who looked unbelievable, by the way.
I was actually buzzing for Matoma in Japan, I think, more so than Germany losing, to be honest. It is mad, that stat that no one's ever. I think the last 13 managers have all left on their own accord, and I think Hansi Flick was the first to be sacked. It's not good going for Hansi Flick, but look, like you said, really buzzing for Pascal Gross. I think it's well overdue for him to get an appearance for the national team. I just feel like he probably needs another manager to utilise him, because as we all know, as Brighton fans, he can literally play anywhere. So in terms of what's his best position for Germany, probably no one knows apart from him and the new manager that comes in. So it'll be good to see that. And then of course, big shout out to Matoma as well. His Japan side look really good. Like they just look stacked all over. So and with Matoma in the mix as well, they look really dangerous side.
No, they do look quite good. I watched the highlights and had like my Brighton scouting hat on. I don't know if you saw the highlights, Luke. We obviously didn't mention it before off air, but some of their players looked unbelievable, like really rapid, really technically gifted, similar to Matoma. Some of the players I would love to see at Brighton. I don't know if you did you manage to see any of the highlights?
Yeah, I saw the highlights, and I believe a few Japanese players are from Celtic, aren't they? They're playing in Celtic, and they're doing quite well there. There's a lot of Japanese players now that seem to play really good football and very technical as well. It's like a different world of football, and I know the culture is a different world compared to here as well, and it's very interesting anyway, the country, and the way they're playing their football is exactly the same. It's completely different, and it's quite cool to see, Japan actually produce some, banging players. I reckon we're going to be seeing a few more Matomas come through.
Definitely, I think there was that long-haired blonde guy, not you, Luke, but it was on the Japan team. He looked really good, and it's just nice. I think there was a story about them. They invested loads and loads of money into building a team, like maybe 15, 20 years ago, and for them to see it finally paying off is pretty cool. So that was cool in terms of internationals. Now onto the Man United game away at Old Trafford. They are a club that's in. I wouldn't say turmoil, that's probably a pretty harsh term to use, but every day there seems to be a new scandal. We can't talk about too many of them because some of them are pretty rough. But there will be notable absentees from their team this Saturday, including Anthony, who's, I think they've agreed like a mutual suspension during whatever's going on with him. Does not look good. They've had so many different scandals come out this week. It's pretty nuts. I think they've got Rafa Varane injured. Obviously, Sancho's had a Barney with the manager. I think he's done that tweet and he still hasn't deleted it about the manager, which is bonkers as well. I think Luke Shaw's injured. But they do have one promising player. Again, long blondish hair, Luke. Hoyland. What did you manage to watch the Man United Arsenal game? Because he looked a little bit tasty from the glimpses that I saw.
To be honest with you, I saw the last bit. I saw the last two goals. Wasn't it Gabriel Jesus scoring the last one? I didn't watch the whole game though. I didn't see how he played. You're gonna have to let me know how he was on that side. But he's a new player. He's got a lot of potential. I've heard a lot about him. So yes, worrying a bit because they've been struggling scoring goals, and this could be the guy who sort of gets one past us or two past us. So hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Because Rashford hasn't been on there, has he? Rashford hasn't been great. So.
And he hasn't got Ben White to skin because he loves skinning Ben White whenever he used to play for us. He would always sit him on his arse. But Matt, did you manage to see a little bit of Hoyland? Because he came on at like the 70th minute, I think. Yeah. And he did show a few glimpses of some sort of ability as like a big striker. Yeah,
just based off that Arsenal game, I didn't get to watch him international because I think he played for Norway. Sorry, is it Norway or Denmark? One of the two.
No, he's Danish. Then Haaland's Norwegian.
That's it. Denmark. Yeah. So he played. I'm pretty sure he played for Denmark in midweek, but I didn't get to catch up. But yeah, Arsenal game. He actually looked decent. He looks quite physically strong. He's actually much taller and sort of more physical than you'd probably expect from him. He looks like a decent little player, but I just don't feel like that's going to be enough, like, respectfully, with the team, the way they're looking at the moment, the way they're playing. Mason Mount, I think, has been very disappointing.
He's injured as well, still, I think.
Yeah, he's injured.
So is Amrabat.
The only one that sort of like stood out, I suppose, has been Bruno Fernandes and Rashford in that one glimpse against Arsenal. I just feel like, they're just not. They just haven't kicked on from last season. Obviously, they got top 4 last season, and everyone thought they're going to go up another level this year and maybe challenge for the title. But it looks like they're regressive, which is really worrying if you're a Man United fan, I suppose. However, one thing I will say, I'll start off by saying I'm very confident going into this game as a Brighton fan. The way we've been playing recently, and some of the players that are like just bang on form. You look at Ferguson up top, you look at Matoma on the wing, you look at Billy Gilmour at centre midfield, look at Dunkey at centre back, Van Hecker even, Bruggen. That spine just looks really solid.
Yeah. I mean, the whole team is just at the moment. It's nuts.
But in saying that, historically, Man United have been brilliant at home, and that's my only worry, is that their home form has been really, really good, and we've only ever beaten them once, and that was at home. So, look, it's not to say it's a full conclusion. I'm very confident going into it, but there's always that chance that Man United do turn up and they do put it on us. But if we're going by form and by the way we've been playing recently, I am really confident going into this game, which is pretty mad to say. But yeah, it is still Old Trafford we've got to go to and try and get a result.
That's a good point, because Old Trafford, they don't play with 11 men. They've got VAR and the referees behind them as well. You're playing against them. And Luke, you were at Old Trafford last year. I watched that vlog. That was nuts. So funny. When you celebrate, you're like, the way your face is like pure shock. It's so jokes. But obviously, during that game, we beat them 2-1. But we were still playing against the referees as well. There was that moment with Danny Welbeck when he got completely shoved over by Martinez, wasn't it? Lissandro. Are you worried that there are going to be VAR issues and referee issues again at Old Trafford? Because I think any club that goes there, especially Wolves more recently, there seems to be some sort of controversy.
Yeah, it's always the big clubs that worry me, to be honest. Tottenham and United are always the two teams that do worry me a little bit with it. But yeah, the thing is, though, I am a bit worried. We always do get results out of United, and as you say, recently in the last 1 to 2 years, we've always done really well against them. But as you say, they've been really rocky. Like their first game, they won, then they lost, then they won, then they just lost again to Arsenal away. But their home, as you say, Maz, the home record is a bit better. So I am a little bit worried about it, but they have a few injuries coming in as well. But yeah, no, definitely for the VAR, definitely worried about it a little bit, because that Danny Welbeck shove, I just cannot believe how that wasn't a penalty. Two hands pushing him. It's mad to me. But hopefully it doesn't happen again. Hopefully we have a clean match with the refereeing, and hopefully it all goes, smoothly.
And then even more recently when they played for us, wasn't it, Maz? There was, I think, the Rashford's penalty. People said he went down really, really soft, and that was given as a pen, and they were gifted the comeback, essentially.
Even talking about that game, they went 2-0 down against Nottingham Forest. And look,
in 4
Nottingham
minutes,
Forest,
something like that.
But by no stretch, I'm not putting down Nottingham Forest, because they are a decent side. They've actually recruited really well, I think. However, in saying that, if you go 2-0 down at Old Trafford, but then it just shows they came back and drew the game 2-2. So even though they are going down, they did show a bit of resiliency in coming back. So you've always got to be wary of that. And I've got to correct myself. I know I said we hadn't beaten them at Old Trafford. Obviously, we beat them last season, done the double over them. If you look at their home form in general, they're usually pretty good at home. So it's I'm not saying that home factor is going to be, I don't think it's nowhere near as scary as it used to be back in the day. Like looking at, let's say 10 years ago, you're like, going to Old Trafford, oh mate, that's so scary. Like, we're not going to get a result ever. But nowadays, like Luke said, we have done really well against them in the past couple of years, and we are looking really good in this current run of form as well. So I think, all in all, like I said earlier, I'm pretty confident, but you just never know. Like what side? I mentioned it on another podcast I was on. I actually really loved how De Zerbi reacted from when we lost against West Ham, and I loved how he changed up the team, put Van Hecker in there, put Ferguson up top, and dropped Welbeck. Like, I loved that he actually reacted in a really positive way in comparison to the West Ham defeat. So again, as long as he doesn't do anything drastic in terms of the lineups, and of course if Ferguson's fit as well, I think we go into that game favourites, to be honest with you. And I know that might sound a bit mad, but I feel like all things considered,
everything on
good.
And
Ansu Fati and Belaber's coming as well, and that's a whole.
I was just about to bring that up.
Well.
You were mentioning how good our spine is, and then I was saying how good the whole team is. Then we've got 2 new players that are ready to come in. I would love to see Ansu Fati play. I don't know whether he starts, just because I feel like De Zerbi is very loyal to Solly March, and I think Ansu Fati predominantly plays on the left, which obviously is hard to. You can't really take Matoma out of the team either. So we're talking about a Barcelona number 10 not being able to get into a Brighton team, which is bonkers. But Luke, would you start either of them? Would you think he should be an impact sub, especially for his debut?
Yeah, I think for the first, game, I definitely don't think they should be starting, because you just don't know how they've trained. You don't really know how they've settled yet. So you don't know if they completely know De Zerbi's tactics, because even our players took some time to understand what De Zerbi football was all about. So I don't think it's right we put them starting, but definitely, Ansu Fati on the bench
Outrageous.
coming on to help us out when we need the pace and all that is definitely good to bring on. So yeah, definitely bring him on. I think definitely give him some game time, even if we're winning or we're losing. I think it would be good to give him some game time. But yeah, both of them look really promising, and I'm excited to see both of them, especially Ansu. He's incredible, absolutely incredible. But hopefully he stays, fit, and hopefully he doesn't get another injury.
Yeah, that's the key for this
anything
season,
like
I think, especially
So,
for
yeah.
him. And Maz, what about you? Would you start any of them?
No, I agree with Luke. I think definitely keep them as impact players for now. Let them integrate into the side. Let De Zerbi do his stuff. Get them integrated into the squad. Just make sure that you don't want to put them in too early, just in case. Obviously, if there's an injury or there's a tactical reason why De Zerbi thinks they suit better for, let's say, Man United coming up, then I fully trust De Zerbi to do his thing. But I think, I think he'll slowly introduce them in, maybe sort of game by game, maybe give them 20 minutes here and there, and then we'll see them hopefully start in the near future. But then it goes down to that whole
Who
thing
is
of, like,
dropped?
who do you drop? Who do you put in? Because obviously Billy Gilmore has been brilliant, and do you put him alongside Baleba in that midfield, and then like you said, Ansu Fati, does he get in ahead of Matoma? No, probably not. And then you're gonna have to look at him, maybe João Pedro. But again, he's been so like. Honestly, I don't envy De Zerbi's. I don't envy De Zerbi's job at all.
Yeah.
But
It's a nice problem to have, isn't it?
100%. But with the Europa League coming up, obviously quite soon, I think we're going to see a lot of rotation anyway. So I think all the players are going to get their chance to shine, and then it's just whoever plays best gets a spot, I suppose.
It is, that's what I'm looking forward to. Seeing Europa, seeing some newer faces come in, and just seeing the squad working out. Because at the moment, every squad selection or every starting 11. We see someone big's dropped, like Billy Gilmore knocked a Hood out of the team, which we wouldn't have expected. And then if you bring Baleba in, playing alongside Gilmore, then does Pascal Gross have to drop? It's a big headache for De Zerbi to have. But I think that's pretty much it for the Man United game, other than score predictions. I'll start so you boys can have a think. I'm going to say that we're going to win 3-1. I'm just feeling very confident of how we're playing. How poor Man United have been.
Love it.
But again, that could all go out the window by the time it's 3 p.m. on Saturday, because that is football. That's why we love the game. Stuff like that just goes out the window, and you start afresh. We've had an international break here where I'm sure all the Brighton squad are very happy, apart from Pascal Gross probably. Everyone's had a really nice 2 weeks off, basically, or essentially. Whereas for Man United, if in that Man United camp, for the past week or so, it must have been pretty dire going into training and being around the training club. I can't imagine their spirits will be too high. So everything is in our favour to get a good result here at Old Trafford. So I'm gonna go out there and say 3-1. Luke, I'm gonna come to you next. What do you think?
Huge.
Yeah, well, as you say, I think also we play very well against, the harder teams, the bigger names. And I think we always do really well against United, and I like to say we'll do well again. I'm going to say 1-0 to Brighton. I think we'll sneak it. Our performance in the first couple of games this season, start of the season, has been so good, and it's been such a shock with the transfer market in the end. And I think we've done really well, and I think there's a lot of positive vibes going in with our club, and I don't think there's a lot of positive vibes going in with the United squad, really. And I think, again, they're disappointed to start another meh season at the start. So I think that we will do all right. I don't think we will get absolutely thrashed. I think, at the very worst, I could see a draw, maybe a 1-1, or maybe a 2-2. They go 2-1 and we sneak a goal at the end or something. It's a Brighton thing to do, sneaking a goal at the end. Especially with Alexis McAllister doing that penalty against them as well. But I think 1-0 and goal scorer as well. I'll probably go with João Pedro.
Nice.
Interesting.
I agree with both of you. I think there's no reason why we shouldn't be confident going into this one. I'm going to go with the win, but I agree with Luke. I could see maybe a draw just because of their home form, and I know I've said it quite a few times now, but I'm going to go with 2-1 Brighton. just to keep the positivity up. All depends on Evan Ferguson as well. I think hopefully he's fit. I don't know. We've heard anything. Yeah, hopefully he's fit. But he's also been, I don't know if you boys have seen, but he's been heavily linked with Man United as well. So that could be really interesting to see if he does play against them and he does really well. Will that interest just be more intense? But yeah, no, I want to see Ferguson up top. I want to see pretty much the same lineup as the last game. I think that we've got the really good balance there with Van Hekken at the back.
I genuinely wouldn't change anything from that.
Yeah. I think Van Hekken played really well. He looked really good with Donkey, and then Ferguson up top.
I'd maybe put Steele back in though.
Really?
Yeah. Interesting.
Why is that?
There's something about Jason that I'm really confident when he's there. I think with Verbruggen, he's still new to me. I don't think he's had. Obviously, it's not really been his fault as well, because I know in a lot of the US games that we didn't really put our proper side out and everything. But he's not had the best record for us quite yet, and I'm still and ahhing. I know he's good with his feet, but is he a better shot stopper than Jason Steele right now? I think he's still on the up, so that's why I think Jason Steele right now. But when we get in to start Europa and then we start changing about, then yeah, fair enough, then give him a chance. But I don't know, I think against a big team like United, I'd like to see someone that is very composed going up against and very experienced going up against a big side. So that's why I'm saying Jason Steele, a little bit of experience.
Yeah, and that's actually a very good point, because De Zerbi did say they're both the number ones, so it's not like a 1 and a 2. So yeah, you know what? Genuinely, yeah. Now that you've said that, I wouldn't be surprised if Steele does play this game just for that, the experience at Old Trafford and that sort of thing. So yeah, fair point. I would not be upset to see Steele in goal. And I think that is about it. Luke, you're going to the game, aren't you? I think when we spoke last time, you said you were going. Yeah,
going to vlog it. Going up Friday, staying in Wolves. Yeah, and then I'm gonna head down to Old Trafford. Hopefully, have another banging away day.
Yes, that
should be amazing.
Hopefully, I'll see you there as well. I will be there. Cannot wait.
Oh, nice.
I've also got my Europa tickets, which I'm buzzing about.
Jeez.
They've come through. Cannot wait. But also as well, I'm actually due to be working on the Thursday, the Athens game, for an event for work. But I am going to get out of that. So if work's listening right now, find me a replacement.
I mean, you are in the office, so hopefully.
Yeah.
Same here though. Same here.
Yeah, buzzing. I can't wait though. I can't wait.
Yeah. What an exciting couple months coming up to be a Brighton fan, and what a potentially awful couple months it is if you're a Man United fan, and we'll end it on that. Yeah. Hopefully we'll be able to spoil the party even more. But yeah, Luke,
are you going to any, Ben? Are you going to any away games or anything like that in the Europa?
Yeah, I've booked Amsterdam. That was like that was the top of the wish list to get, and the fact that we got them was incredible. I think it was like 17 of us all going out. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be an absolute party. We're doing Thursday to Saturday. So it should be.
Oh wow!
Nice. Yeah, it should be.
Nice. So that's going to get a
very good weekend. Yeah. I don't know about doing Athens away. Definitely Marseille away. I don't know that one's. We've spoken with my mates, so a bit like probably not worth the risk. Maybe going to Marseille.
Don't fancy getting beaten up. Really.
Yeah, don't. So fair play to anyone who does go. I'm pretty sure Jack Albion and Mike King and them boys will go because they go to every game. Are you going to Marseille, Luke?
I'm going to all of them. I've got them all.
Fair. Oh, nice, mate.
I mean, it's good content, to be fair.
Just make sure you wear a balaclava, Luke, right?
Yeah. Don't wear your Brighton kit. Whatever you
do not wear your Brighton kit. Yeah.
I'll wear a full kit, socks and all.
Dye your hair a different colour so they don't know who you are as well, because they'll be doing their research. That's also another reason why, Marseille just, no good. But Athens could be fun. Athens away would be nice.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do Athens tonight and Amsterdam. I think that's the two I'm trying to do.
Love that. Oh, boys, like I said, great times ahead. And Luke, thanks for coming on, mate. Third time lucky.
Thank you.
Third time lucky. So hopefully this has worked. I will put disclaimer. We recorded this on Tuesday, so if anything else happens between now and Saturday when this comes out, don't blame us. So we haven't even seen the England game. Lewis Dunk might have got injured. Not touch wood that he hasn't. Don't know why I said that.
Yeah,
anyway,
why did you say that?
I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think what could happen in between now and then.
Anyway, before you say anything else, stop the bloody.
Yes. All right. Cheers, Luke. Cheers, Maz, and we'll see you very soon. Peace.